Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide Mysore, and today we are discussing the topic of two planets in angles, that is in Kendras or quadrants. So, 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, and 270 degrees are the midpoints of the Kendras. So, if I take the ascendant, I will be taking it as the first house, and the fourth house, the seventh house, and the 10th house. And if we have two planets combinations in these, this is what the series is about. I have already done sun and moon, and I will be adding it on for the end screen. But now we are discussing about the results of placement of sun and Mars together in these four houses. So we should understand that Mars also can get combust when it comes very close to Sun, because whenever we are talking about any planet with Sun, except for Rahu Ketu, there is a chance of combustion. So here, let us avoid the topic of combustion. I have already spoken about Mars combustion, which also I will be adding it on the end screen. So we'll have to add two, that is one about um, sun and moon. That is a previous video about sun and moon in Kendras, and Mars combustion. I'll try to add both of them in the end screen. So let us talk about sun and Mars together. We know about the characteristics of sun and Mars. Both are having likely the same kind of characteristics. Both are pitra pravritti, that is, they are bilious in nature. They both are very strong male planets and very aggressive planets, fiery planets. So fiery in the sense that they are Agni Tattva. So aggressive, and if this particular placement is placed in the ascendant, that is the first house, then the person will be aggressive, strong, muscular, and strong upper body. Both are fiery planets, and hence Pitta, or we call it as biliousness, and they take bold decisions with respect to professional tasks, and they are very weak in decision making with regard to personal relationships, always ready and excited to get involved in physical activity. So they would want to, they become they love physical sports. They also can be excited with regard to harm or physical harm, so they can defend themselves by proving their strength of muscles. So you know what I am trying to tell, though the fist comes first before their brain works. So they are a little aggressive in that manner. So they may go through injuries in sports or while on the job, industrial jobs. They might go through injuries, sports, because of over exercising their muscles, over usage of the bones. So are also represented by sun. Muscles are represented by sun and Mars. So muscles and bones, very important factors in a person's human body. So that also comes into play here in the first house. They are sometimes rude, harsh in their speech, which they have to control. So, coming to the fourth house, that is the second Kendra, they have their own way of handling things. They don't like people interfering in their job. So, that means, so because of their skill, they are very highly skilled. Fourth house, Sun and Mars, they are very highly skilled. It is in the house of knowledge. The fifth house is the house of knowledge. The fourth house is the house of qualification, engineering knowledge, do it yourself. They have a lot of experience. The hard way of learning, they have learned it hard. So they don't want unnecessary somebody else to come and give free advice to them. They respect people who are very very learned, and they would want to take advice from them, but they are very poor listeners when it comes to anybody talking to them. They don't want anybody just like that to talk and tell something about anything what they know. So they have very less friends or personal bonding. Very very tough with regard to relatives, and very tough with regard to relationships. So they are hard workers and they enjoy doing it, but they do not have much time to enjoy their own life, or their lifestyle is in such a way kept that they have a very religiously they follow a routine in which work is more prominent rather than personal life. So that is all because of the malefics in Sukhasthana. So when malefics are there in Sukhasthana, it hurts the person's enjoyment, and it hurts the person's sukha. But that doesn't mean that a person will not be, be able to earn a good living, or will not have vehicles, or will not have great opportunities to build house or anything like that. Yes, they will be having good land holdings, construction of houses or construction business, and they will be a well to do engineer or a technical person. So this is a very good chart with a person having fourth house Mars and Sun. But Sun loses its Digbala in the fourth house, but Mars in a way is okay, strong in the fourth house. So they both will compensate these Kendras, because when they go to the 10th house, Sun will start getting very good strength in the Kendra, wherein Mars will start again losing a little bit. So Sun will actually make up, and somewhere, some places, Mars will make up. So when they are in the seventh house or the third Kendra, that is the quadrant, ego will become an important factor which may make or break relationships or marriages. So, making a relationship is that a person will be able to do good with regard to family life, and will be able to show compassion and show good caring towards marriage. But here what will happen is that if ego comes in between a relationship, it will be more like a responsibility or an obligation, and they would not be more compassionate or caring. They would be very good fathers, they will be excellent protectors, they will take care of the house as a commitment. But where is that affection, where is that love? They may lack in certain cases. So they will not easily agree also. If you tell them, they will not agree, because they cannot bow down to anybody, and they cannot unnecessarily agree to things which they feel they are correct at. So this is a very strong combination to be in the seventh house for a principled person, a principled living strict military kind of a person. But anyway, that kind of a person is going to face difficulties with regard to having a good marital life. Obviously, so if you are arrogant, in some cases, it is difficult for you to, understand the opposite sex or the opposite gender and go through a conjugal marriage. So they always defend themselves, but it is tough for them to understand the other person's perspective with regard to live the marriage in a conjugal way. So that is a difficulty. But other than that, they love traveling, and they love politics, they love marketing, they love sales, they love to go around, meet people, transact their fluency with regard to marketing, sales, purchases, material marketing, material science. All this is very good. So this is a very strong chart with Sun and Mars in the seventh house, though Sun once again is in the west, not in the east. So when it's in the Lagna, it's in the east. So now it's in the west when it's in the seventh house. So let us take this combination to the 10th house now. Another Kendra, a very strong Kendra, because the 10th house shows your profession, your aptitude towards profession. So, very clear sentence here. What they would say is no success without hard work. So, you sweat and you make money. So that is what is their mula, that the theory. So the motto is that you don't do it the hard way, you don't get anything easy. So they can work long hours without break, and they like industries, manufacturing units. They love OEMs. They love to work in places where things are really happening. So they would want to be involved in all these things. So this is a fantastic placement for them. Actually, this is one of the biggest Raja Yogas in a chart. If if Sun and Mars are Yoga Karakas, then it becomes a very strong Raja Yoga. Like for example, I'll give you a combination of Sun and Mars, both in the 10th house for Aries ascendant. Fantastic combination. Though they are in the house of sign of Saturn, still Mars is exalted, giving rise to Ruchaka Yoga, and we have Sun also there. And if it is not combust, one of the strongest combinations for politics or having industry or getting into government offices. So, sudden investment into business might cause failure if they do not check the seventh lord and its position. So there are some things which you need to check. Only the placement of two planets in one particular house will not control the whole chart, right? So there are other planets also which will be disturbing or trying to put its own thing into it. So the influence of other planets over this combination will be high. It is not that these planets are simply left alone to do whatever they want. So failure or loss, or he or she may face obstacles in business because of difficulty from labor. So who is labor? Labor is represented by Saturn, the mass, the labor. So now this Sun and Mars can face difficulties because they are like rulers, so they want to rule. So Sun and Mars might face difficulties because Saturn is not cooperative in the chart. So you need to see the placement of Saturn and also the placement of Sun and Mars. So they will climb to higher levels in life, and they would want to achieve that CEO position, the vice president or the director position in any industry or any setup. But provided they can control their anger, the aggressiveness, and show humility and patience. Once they do this, they will be able to do wonderfully well in their job. So, thank you very much for today's class.